Hello, Comedy Club fans. Welcome to Tom's Comedy Club. We are back, oh, oh, in this glorious interweb. We are back now with One Comedian, 8 Questions, a series that will get better and better and better each time we do it. Yes. The Misadventures of Our Flower Plot Series 2 will be out very soon. Woo! But not yet. This is first. So first of all, let me introduce our one comedian, because it's the name of the title. She's best known as a comedian and a writer. It's the one and only Hanna Fairweather.
Hello, thanks for having me, Tom.
You're welcome. So let's find out what our first question is on the magical wheel, which I'll turn the audio on. The magical wheel. Ooh, here we go. What will it be? Hooray! Here is the first question. What is one panel show you'll love to be on?
Probably I would say Mock the Week. I love Mock the Week. I've watched it for a long time. Even before I started doing comedy. Yeah, I just love everything about the format. I've actually written on it. Ishan Akbar. I've written for him when he's appeared on it. And yeah, I think big goal of mine is to be on it myself.
Well, I quite like Mock the Week. I've nearly seen every episode. There's so many episodes. I've nearly seen them. They just need to add every episode to the iPlayer like they did with QI. But it is a very good show. It reminds me a lot of Whose Line Is It Anyway. It's got the same feel to it as that. But it is very good. And Dara O'Brien is very good. It's back in September. I just heard the new series.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. So let's find out what the next question is. Ooh, here we go. Right. What is one piece of advice for someone performing at the Edinburgh Fringe for the very first time?
Well, I am someone performing at the Edinburgh Fringe for the very first time, so I'm probably not the best giver of advice, considering I've done the festival before, but not as a this is my first solo hour.
Yeah.
So I don't know. When I did it as a split bill, I don't know if that qualifies me to give advice. But I would say the best piece of advice would just be to it can be quite exhausting if you consume yourself fully in the festival, and obviously you want to go to your friends' shows and stuff, but I think you also have to remember that it's work and put in the work during the month as well. Hopefully the show will be ready at the beginning, but yeah, you don't want to get too caught up in it and not remember why you're actually there, I guess.
Yeah. And it's very popular thing, so it must be like a daunting thing to even imagine doing, because it's so popular now.
Yeah, exactly. It's good to have done it before and have experienced, because I did a lot of I did a split bill and a lot of spots and stuff and the kind of pick of the fringe type shows. So it's good to have had a taste of it, but it's a completely different ball game doing your own show. So yeah, it can be daunting, but it's also very exciting.
Yeah, because it's a very popular thing, and I think this year, I think the BBC might return this year, because they were at it last year on BBC Scotland with Mark Nielsen, where he did it's like if people don't like sports, they don't care about it, and they listen to the presenters afterwards in the little circles. It's like, oh, that's really boring. But when they do it for the fringe, it's the most interesting thing possible, find out some woman's spending her time pouring milk on herself. She's really weird. Not as weird as
was that someone's part of someone's show one year, or is that just a random example?
No, that is someone's show. You could spend £6 watching this woman pour milk on herself.
Oh, What an experience.
Yeah, yeah, and the BBC thought, oh, we'll showcase that, so they played a clip of her pouring milk on herself, which I don't know, it's weird. It's very weird because no one else was in the room. She was by herself with the camera. They were filming it, so
Was she supposed to be by herself in the room, or did she just have no ticket sales?
I don't know. I won't. I don't know. It's a weird concept to think of. I don't,
Mm.
people watch weird things on not just at Edinburgh Fringe, just in general. Yeah, it's something you don't forget. Once you see it once, you'd never forget it.
Yeah.
So that's right. So let's move on to question number 3 before we get carried away with milk. Ooh, right. So this might be a hard question because I wrote it and never considered the impossibleness of the answer. So, when
Okay.
was the first time you called yourself a comedian? Like, when did you consider yourself to be a comedian?
Oh, I feel like I'm gonna make myself look like such a narcissist with this answer, because feel like a lot of people wait until a certain point or like kind of yeah, like have like criteria. But I sort of think soon as you've done comedy, you're a comedian. I kind of started calling myself it from the beginning, not on like not obnoxiously on like business cards or anything, but um but yeah, I guess there was no point at which I was like, I'm a comedian now. I just kind of, and I guess if anyone, I, I think I'm still lying as well. Like, it's not like, if I meet someone away from comedy, I tend to either not bring it up or I'll, if they ask, like if it's a taxi driver, I'm an accountant. I'm so
Yeah,
I'm still probably not even really calling myself a comedian.
well, that is. I was watching a webinar. It's a weird thing to watch. Well, not really, because you're on a web. I was watching a webinar when they were talking about being right for first time stand-ups, and that was the question that was asked, and that's an interesting thing to
Hmm.
think about because it's not like you have to. There's not a set criteria to become a comedian. It's
Exactly, and I sort of feel like there is some like like I do get why some people are like you're not a comedian until you've done XYZ or whatever, but considering how different people's career paths look, it's impossible to like set one thing, and it feels a little bit gatekeepy to be like you're not this, and then unless you do this. I feel like if you've got a mic in your hand and an audience listening to you, then unfortunately you're probably a comedian.
Well, that was a very good answer, and
No, thank
you
you.
know, I, I'll put my penny in the hat on this. I think another way to tell that you're a comedian is when someone laughs at a joke you make. I think that's another tell sign that you're probably a comedian at that point. 'Cause someone finds you funny.
Do you reckon you need all of the things around it though? Do you need the stage and stuff, or if you laugh and make
Oh,
someone laugh at dinner, does that
wait,
count?
yeah, that might do. Or if you're happy yourself, that might also count. Uh, that, yeah, I don't know who would be doing that. Definitely not me. Right, here is question number 4, I think. I don't know. I'm not really good at maths. Let's see what it is. Ooh, here we go. This similar to the last question,
Mhm.
but slightly different. How old were you when you realised you were funny?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't. I I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that's because I'm such a narcissist that I've always thought I'm funny, or if I'm still not there yet. I don't know because I never. Yeah, I guess I when I first started comedy, I guess I've never thought. I'm probably not properly answering your question here, but I guess I've never thought I'm funny. I thought that like I'm a hard worker and that my jokes are funny. So I believe that my comedy is funny, and I'm really proud of my show, and I'm really proud of. But like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think there was ever a point where I was like, I'm a genius. um, yeah, I mean, I guess yeah, humor's always been like a massive part
Yeah.
of my life. So I think laughing with family and stuff has been something as long as I can remember. So I guess in that sense, I've always thought I'm funny, but like not in a way that I'm like patting myself on the back for, if that makes any sense. I feel like I've not answered your question properly at all.
That does make sense because not everyone remembers everything. Unless you got a photographic memory. I'm not judging people that have photographic memory. Um, yeah, I wish I did have one, but no, definitely not. Right, that was a very good answer. Again,
I
because
wish I had like a cinematic experience of like something happening and then being like, this is my destiny. But
well, it's different. It's different for everyone because some people realize at a young age, and some people never realize and just move on with their life and are just funny without realizing because you don't always have to realize you're funny. Here is question number 5. Let's see what it's going to be. Way the whole purpose of this, the question that I always wish comes up. This is a question that you'll know the answer to 100%,
Good.
unless you've forgotten, which hopefully you haven't. What is your Edinburgh show about?
So my show is called Just a Normal Girl Who Enjoys Revenge. And it's essentially me working through a list of everyone that's wronged me in the past. That's essentially the entire concept of the show. I've really like obnoxiously started calling myself the Taylor Swift of comedy, and I feel a lot of the show is inspired by she has a song called Look What You Made Me Do. And there's a lyric in it which is, I've got a list of names and yours is in red underlined. I check it once, I check it twice. And basically, that is the backbone of the entire show. Just a list of everyone that's wronged me.
And because I don't, the question might not be in here, but where can people see whereabouts in
It is at Just the Tonics at the Caves, just up the stairs, and it's at 2:25 every day from the 4th.
There you go. Where can people purchase these tickets?
Either from Just the Tonic website, or from the Ed Fringe website. Both of them are linked on my website, which is hannafairweathercomedy.com.
And you'll find that website in the link in the description
Wonderful.
because it will be, and it is a very good website. I've
Thank you.
opened it many times, and it is very good because it's hard. So when you make websites, you have to try and get it in the correct way, and you have to try and find the best way to market yourself on a website. But that it is a very good website. That
Thank you.
it's very good. Right, here is question number 6. Let's see what it's gonna be. The wheel has decided, and we shall spin again because it's given us the same question as previous. And then
Maybe I'll have a better answer to one of them second time round.
let's go. What is question number be? Right, here we go. So you might know the answer to this, you might not. I write these thinking people know answers to stuff and they probably don't. What is one thing you regret about your first time doing stand-up?
Oh, well, actually, the first time I did stand up, I wasn't planning to do stand up. I basically my first gig, I'd been like wanting to do comedy for quite a while, and my family knew that I'd wanted to do it, but I was kind of hesitant. I didn't really think that it was like a plausible career path, so I put it off for a while, and I'd been like writing jokes and stuff. I just hadn't actually performed. And I went. My mum was encouraging me to do it, and so we went along to like an open mic, just as audience members, because I was like, right, I'll see what it's like before I throw my hat in the ring. Um, and the MC started chatting to my mum and was like, kind of, what brought you here? and so my mum says the whole backstory of, oh, my daughter wants to be a comedian. Um, and then the MC was like, well, there's been a dropout today, so if you want to do a 5 spot after the break, you can. And so I did, and it went really well. So I think in a lot of ways I don't have regrets about it, because it was so completely out of my control, and kind of the push I needed. Maybe the only regret is because I don't drink when I perform. And I did drink that night because I wasn't expecting to perform, so maybe. But I guess it kind of helped loosen the nerves a bit. But yeah, I guess that would be my only thing. Maybe just order a Coke instead of a, a wine that night.
Yeah, and that's a good piece of advice out for people to go to see open mics and see what it's like. Try before you buy is the
Yes, exactly.
I'd like to use. Stop buying anything new. Well, you're buying into a career path, really.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it's worth like kind of checking out just to see, you know, not just if it's like, what you want to do and stuff, but like it's worth seeing what's out there. And like there's some horrible nights, and it could really impact your confidence if you start on one of the wrong ones. So it's good to know what is a nice friendly night to start on.
Yeah. And so let's get on to question number 7. Woo! Let's see what question number 7 will be. Let's go. What is question number 7? And here we go. This is a good one to piggyback off the last one. What is your advice for someone who wants to start doing stand-up for the very first time?
um I'm probably gonna give a piece of advice that is really obvious and been said on your show loads before, or just generally loads before. But just write. I think that yeah, just writing as much as possible is really helpful. It's kind of the more you do anything, the better you get at it. So it's just practice of like um yeah. If and I think there's um a lot of focus on the performance side of thing. I think people like are like, I've got to get up and get confident in front of a crowd, but I think it's more important that the jokes, and then that other stuff can come, and your confidence can come from the fact that your jokes are good and stuff. So I would say just spend as much time writing as possible, just really hone that skill, and like make sure you enjoy it as well. Like if like you have to, it's not the easiest profession, especially at the start. So like if your motivation is to just like be in front of a crowd and be famous and stuff, it's not going to be fun. So you have to really enjoy it. So I say right, because you, even if you're a successful comedian, like successful club comic, for example, you might be spending 20 minutes a day gigging, but you're spending a great deal more time than that writing. So yeah, right, I would say is my long answer. Maybe maybe I need more word economy in my answer.
Yeah, that is the backbone of comedy. You have to write something to think, to find it that you find it funny before you think everyone else will find it funny. You have to have the idea.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have to have it imprinted first. So we now move on to the final question. Ah, and here is the final question. Let's see what it'll be. What will be question number 8? Oh, this is going to be a question. This is more of a multiple choice sort of
Ooh.
question of where you want to take your answer. So it's more of a scenario. Let's set the scene. So Timmy, for instance, I don't know why I keep using the word Timmy, but Timmy is a big producer at either the BBC, Channel 4, or Dave, and has asked you to pitch a program to him. First of all, which channel would you pitch a program to? Either BBC, Channel 4, or Dave. First of all, that's the first thing to think about. And then, so which one would you pitch for first?
I feel like, I mean, I would be delighted to work with any of them, and I want that on the record. I don't know. I guess most of the shows I watch are BBC, so just for that reason. But not that I have anything against the other channels. I'd be happy to work with them.
Right. So you've chosen BBC now.
Hmm.
So what show would you pitch to the BBC if this said Timmy, the bloke that now runs comedy in this fictional world, has asked you to pitch a program? What program for BBC would you pitch?
Well, I've got a couple of sitcoms that I've been working on, which I'm not sure if I should publicly reveal the plots to. But one of those is yeah. I've yeah, kind of written a show loosely based on some of my experiences that I would pitch. That's a very vague answer.
Yeah, well, secrecy is key, and yeah. So Dave are very good at producing comedy. I found out that Dave did a program with Joe Brand called The Big Splash, where Joe was doing stand up, and then she was also doing stuff out and about. So she did a mud run with Sean Locke,
All right.
and then got attacked by the baby by Blue Peter because they were also filmed that same day. So you had Dave in last place, and you had the BBC in first place in this race because it was a race they were having, and it was hilarious because all you saw was Sean Locke just doing backstroke in mud, just doing backstroke whilst Joe Brand was stuck, and some bloke painted in silver was falling over.
Right. I'll have to check that out. Is it kind of like Taskmaster-esque in that sense?
Not really. It's all about, so it's Joe Brand just discovering water.
Ah,
So
fair enough.
she'll stand up and talks about her experiences to an audience, and in like a sort of room that's essence of a pool, and then it just cuts to clips of her interacting with the water. So
Right,
like
right.
Olympic divers and diving and stuff, and doing mudslides and meeting other famous comedians like Sean Locke and Bill Bailey and them more. And it's like the early days of Dave, where you could do anything, like a cricketer and Susan Calman running around trying to spend £1,000 in Iceland in 24
Can
hours.
it be done?
It can. Josh Widdicombe wasn't very good at splashing cash in Germany.
Right.
He failed at that. Yeah, it's Dave just does whatever they want, which is why Dave's very good in the comedy world. Whatever any idea that you have, they probably will have done it already. It's just a weird concept. So we come to the end of the questions. Now we come on to the questions that aren't wheel related. So the first question is, where can people see you on the interwebs?
You can see me at so I've the aforementioned website, which is hannafairweathercomedy.com, and then on socials I'm Hanna Fairweather on Instagram, and Han Fairweather on Twitter. I think there was already a Hanna Fairweather, so just a little bit of variety. And
That is very much. And are you doing any other gigs other than the Edinburgh Fringe soon?
just spending this month kind of prepping for August. I've got a few previews down in London in the middle of the month, I think like the 16th and 19th. And then apart from that, just gigging as usual. Just I live in Edinburgh, so most of my gigs are up here. But yeah, just plodding along, trying to make sure the show's as ready as it can be for August.
There you go. So August is almost around the corner because it is the 4th of July as we speak. So this series will will continue throughout, well, hopefully continue throughout the month of August as more comedians come on to promote their fantastic shows. Again, you can see all of it, all the information, links wise for tickets and all that will be in the link in the description. And thank you for coming on, and hopefully the show runs smoothly as you hope, because we don't want anything to go wrong unless it's technical. Then you can blame the theatre, not yourself, which is always a good thing. And we hope that your career skyrockets and becomes even more famous than one day you're on Rock the Week, and
Oh, well, thank you.
and then if Taskmaster lasts long enough, because they've got 2 more series already sorted. Hopefully Taskmaster gets to series 1355.
Fingers crossed. I think that's a task they need to set themselves.
Yeah, because there's too many comedians. They can't end it soon.
No.
There's too many people that they lead on, and then there's the people uprising. So thank you once again, and thank you guys for watching One Comedian, 8 Questions. We'll return shortly. We might have a small break because we have something special going on over on the 3rd channel, The Weird Side, which might be comedy related, might not be. Ooh, mystery. But there we have it. The amazing One Comedian, 8 Questions, and sadly drawn to a close for today. Thank you once again for coming on and answering my questions from
Thank you for having me.
Wheel of Destiny. And thank you guys for watching. I don't have an intro, outro, but I'll make one up on the spot. And remember, keep being funny, and there's a club out there somewhere. Bye.